Hey, Steve. Cameron McCormick.
How are you?
Pleasure meeting you.
You as well.
Good. You got a golf club in your hand. I do. We know why we're here. We're here to help you become a better golfer. You wouldn't be here otherwise. So, in order for me to help you become a better golfer, I need to understand what you're bringing to our discussion and what's going to be a transformation today. So tell me a bit of background. You play how much golf? How long have you been playing golf? And what caliber of golf do you play?
So I've been playing for a couple years.
Yep.
I try and play once a week if I can, and I'm fully self-taught. I
Okay.
just come out, try and hit the ball, and stay and play.
Yeah.
You know.
Given that you are self-taught, are there any checks and balances that you run? Like, let's say you hit the ground before the ball. Is there something that you then go to that is information sitting in your head, and where did that come from?
Just watching videos, watching people play.
Okay, so there is a little bit of video watching there. There is a little bit of tapping into a knowledge base without really probably understanding whether it's proper for you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's so
That makes
common.
sense.
I mean, the number of conversations I have with mid-handicaps, even low-handicap players, or even beginning golfers, which you are not, wherein I understand that the source of their information is just general scope, whatever is out there in the interweb or on social media, on YouTube. And the hardest part about that is there's so much out there. What we don't know until we know is where to go. And so the social media channels or platforms do a fairly good job of just feeding us, but it's not feeding us, targeting our specific pain points. And that's what I aim to give you today, is knowledge that targets your specific pain points, that gets you striking it better and controlling the ball better so you enjoy golf and hit better shots. And it's specific to you and your needs. So before we get in, and getting in will involve hitting a few shots so I can make that evaluation. Before we get in, what sort of ball flight, as you stand to this one with the target line being the cell tower in the distance, what's your intent? Ideally, your ball would fly how?
So ideally, I would try and probably, if we're going towards a cell tower, I know my ball flight usually is a little bit left to right.
Yep.
Right. So I would almost try and go over the yellow flag or the red flag to then have it land towards the
Beautiful.
cell tower.
I love that intent.
Yeah.
And that's an intent that we can work with. And I think that's super important that a beginning golfer hears that. And so that's actually something for anyone else out there watching, is we should always stand to a ball with a very specified intent, because the brain loves specifics. It doesn't love just random generalities. And this is where I use that term pain point, is what does a bad shot look like? Because bad shots I term pain points.
Yeah. Bad shot could be.
I love the look on your face, by the way.
A serious
oh my God,
chunk.
Here we go, Cam. Are you ready for this?
I could top it. It could run out. I mean, I could just completely miss left.
Okay. So we got left in play. We've got some amount of tops in play. Do you have a fat?
Chunks.
All
yeah.
right.
Fat. Yeah.
Across the board.
Yeah. I check all the boxes.
Okay,
on that one.
perfect. Well, I'm going to help you uncheck all those boxes and check one, which is an understanding and better ball control. Understanding of what to do, how to apply it yourself, how to use what I call ball backwards coaching to self-coach yourself. What does that mean? Most instruction you see is going to be form forwards. Let's take a look at this move you do or combination of moves and then build those expecting a different result. Rather, we're going to take the ball flight and the contact and read backwards into small targeted tweaks to help you become a better golfer right now.
Awesome.
All right, guys, quick break from today's video. Look, if you want to make massive improvements with your game and actually get way better in 2025, you got to do something different than you've done before. And one of those things that I highly recommend is checking out these 2-day schools that my friends at Performance Golf are hosting. These are with the best coaches in the world, people you see me in videos with all the time, like Martin Chuck, Andrew Rice, Erica Larkin, many more of the top coaches at awesome places all around the United States. We're seeing great results with these schools because what we're able to do when we see you in person is really find and fix the main root issue. Most all of us have like 4 or 5 things wrong with our swing. You can't do them all at one time, but you can find and fix the main one thing, which we can do in person like that. We're able to make massive improvements. I'm talking like maybe 2 years of improvements in only 2 days. So if you're looking for something to really fast track your improvement, this could be the thing that could take you to the next level. We'll put a link in the description down below. Check that out, see if there's a spot available in a location that works for you.
All right, let's hit 5 shots. Let me spray that club face because I want evidence of contact to the extent that it will show up and it could be helpful. Okay. Again, target line, cell tower in the distance. I'm gonna be chilling over here, taking a look at my TrackMan device and then walking back and forth forward.
Cool.
All right, away you go.
And that's the chunk.
Okay. Ball 1, Exhibit A. We got a very deep divot, but we've also got an understanding that a chunk shot is what? It's merely the club getting to the ground too early. Let's re-rack and go again. Ball number 2.
That was a little high too.
Right? Yeah. Well, that high contact location is telling a story. And that story is that your club, as it was making contact with the ball, was already in the ground at that depth. Right? Golf ball, middle of the golf ball sitting above the ground. So even before we're actually into the coaching, we're into unpacking the principles of ball impact that then inform that ball backwards blueprint. So cool, here we go. That concept's fairly easy to understand, right?
Yeah.
It's like the club, if it was hitting into the water, would be deep submerged inside or underneath the surface of the water.
That was thin.
Yep, there is a thin weak to the right. That one, it's frustrating, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna alleviate that frustration. 2 more, please. You're hitting a 7-iron right now. Tell me what you expect to achieve in carry distance on a good shot.
7-iron probably around like 170, 175.
Okay, in carry. Right, cool. There's a bit of the left. It's not going left really hard, but it is a touch too far left. Cool. All right. Now, let's talk first about a couple of concepts. Those concepts relate to what causes the club to strike the ground, either at the ball, after the ball, or before the ball. So that would be, if it's before, it's fat. It's at the ball, it's solid. After the ball, sometimes is thin. But also what causes the club to be deep in the ground versus shallow in the ground. So deep in the ground could be your deep divot we talked about first, the high contact location. And then shallow on the ground would be where the arc is high. And I'm going to switch positions with you and get you to stand right here. And I'm going to go grab a couple of tools here. This one first. Okay. So to be good at golf, what we want to do is we want to visualize, well, let's start by visualizing this as my entire swing. So if I can shrink myself on down inside the hula hoop here, what we want to be good at golf is we want to have very precise control over the landing point of the club. I think of the club like it's an airplane. It takes off in the backswing, it comes back down to land, and if it lands before it gets to the back edge of the ball, similar to a plane landing before the runway, bad things happen. We don't want that. But in addition, if it doesn't land, then we never get to let the passengers off, right? So we need that club to land. Yours does a couple of things. It gets deep in the ground, as if I could push the hula hoop down into the ground, and has potential to land too much to the right side. Inside of why that happens is also why your swing from time to time will tend to pull hook it. Inside of also why your swing tends to want to hit it shorter when you're not on. So you mentioned 170 yards. The most solid of shots right now only travel some 150 yards, and that's swing speed related. So what I aim to do right now is one thing and one thing only, and that's ask that you try this one targeted tweak, and that's to change both contact, but also swing speed. Because I think inside of changing your contact abilities, we also change your swing speed abilities, and then we likely surface more of the results you're looking for, and we take away that left miss, okay? And then if this proves true, at least my working theory, then we can back into the knowledge that informed why I went here. So it's as simple as this. I want you to take a stance to the ball, and I want you to feel like you're rotating the middle of your body more. So that's both belt buckle and belly button back to the back here, as if you're trying to turn to TrackMan.
Okay.
And then, if you can, I want you to do the same on the forward side. So there's a backswing feel that is the same as the forward swing feel, and the more we have, the better we're going to be. Because one's going to increase, or both of those are going to increase swing speed. They're also going to help us bring the arc out of the ground. You ready to give it a shot?
Sure.
All right, fire away. Give me a demonstration real quick of what it feels like to create a little bit more turn. Belt buckle, belly button, back to me. That is outstanding. Well done. Does that excite you?
It felt pretty good.
Okay, yeah.
Felt pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, that was just the most pretty, what?
Yeah.
Baby fade.
Yeah.
Yeah, that fell just right of target, right?
Yeah.
Is that you smiling?
A little bit.
There's your excitement, I like it. Yeah. Did the club feel like it was as deep in the ground?
No, it felt actually really good.
Oh, beautiful,
Yeah.
yeah. And again, Sometimes I start with unpacking the knowledge to validate why, and
Right.
sometimes just go in the reverse direction. I coach, but then I haven't done the job that you need me to do unless I've left you with the knowledge that you can apply yourself. So we'll get to that. Okay, this time I want to practice swing where you do the same thing in the backswing and you create even more rotation, turning your belt buckle to that yellow flag there as soon as you can in the downswing. Oh, beautiful. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's fire away. On the golf ball now. Oh my God. Oh my God. Come on.
Feels really good.
I mean, that shot speaks to me. That gives me the warm and fuzzies.
I like
Does
it.
it do the same for
I like
you?
it. Yeah.
Can I read out the change in result for you?
Sure.
Because I love to brag on the person standing in front of me that has the most difficult job. Like, my job is so easy. I take a simple understanding of what the club needs to tell the ball to do, and then I ask a person to apply it, and I'm back here knowing that if you do it correctly, you'll get this change in result that I'm about to express to you. But if you don't, we don't change what we're trying to do. It's the same targeted tweak. We just become even more persistent to continue to apply it. But you did it in swing number one, and now you did it in swing number two. Okay, so your best small fade intent in your first series of 4 shots, the small fade. The club speed was 89 miles an hour. The ball speed was 113 miles an hour. Now, I use those two numbers because the club speed is you, right? That's your engine.
Right.
The ball speed is how solid and how well you struck it. So that's the outcome of that. That last shot, swing speed, so your club head speed went to 95, well done. And your ball speed went from 113 to 123. Typically, for a 10 mile per hour change in ball speed, I'd have to give you 2 clubs down from that. It would be a 5-iron ball speed. So basically what you just did is you use your body to hit it 7 yards further in the air, to hit it higher also, which is super cool because it allows you to attack flags,
Right.
or attack your target, which is sometimes the flag, sometimes not. Have it stop really close to where it lands, which is a principle of really great golf, and you did it with way more club energy and with a ball speed that would typically take someone putting a 5-iron in their hand to achieve it. And it fell 12 feet. 12 feet right of target. That's
Nice.
not far to the right. That's your baby fade.
I like
Okay, cool. Let's do one more, and then we'll unpack the why, because I've just given you the what. And like I said, the why is super important. Okay, one rehearsal, belt buckle back to TrackMan, belt buckle through. And the faster it moves through, the faster you swing. Ah, so great.
That felt really good.
Little baby cut. Wow, you can smoke it. 96 miles an hour, 131 ball speed. That iron just went 172 yards in the air. That's what your expectation is.
Yeah.
You just achieve what, number one, you expect in distance. Number two, you expect in start direction and ball shape. But you don't know why. Now I can explain those things to you, but do you understand the data that I'm talking about over here?
I have no idea what the data means.
And the beauty of it is you don't need to know, because there are 3 simple, really, ball flight laws, we could call them, principles that we're applying here, or I'm applying, that you can apply yourself to get the same results without me needing to be present. But you do, even if I didn't tell you the club speed, ball speed, you feel that, don't you?
Oh yeah, it felt great.
Yeah, you feel more force.
Yeah.
And you feel the reverberation, the solidness of contact coming off the club face, and it's taking off, right? Beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna get you to stand right in front of me, and now I become the demonstrator of the concept, right? So basically what happened is when a player under-rotates going back, they essentially sap themselves of a lot of the coil of the wind-up of the spring. So that's why your swing speed was lower than it needed to be. In addition to that, when a person doesn't rotate their belt buckle towards the target coming down, whatever lever, or we'll call it hinge, they've built up in the backswing, leaves sooner than we need to in the downswing. That's what was causing your arc to impact the ground early and also impact the ground super deep. So releasing your wrists, it's called cast. It's very common for those to hear about that are involved in instruction, but solving the cast wasn't your primary need. Solving how you were using your body that was causing the cast was your primary need. So the beauty of this is when you see a ball that's short and to the left, you know the short is speed and the left is using my wrists and the fat is using my wrists, but you now know there's only one targeted tweak inside of this ball backwards blueprint that you need to apply, and that's, dude, use the strength in my body a whole lot more. And the beauty of this is since you have experience of 2 years playing golf, your brain already knows how to let the club do its work, right? And then without diving deep into the data of why the ball launches in a location that it launches, we don't need to, because you have the elements in your swing that don't need to be tinkered with, right? And that's the beauty of it, is like, we could talk about positions of face and the way the club's moving at the bottom of the swing arc, but since they're already there, that would just weigh you down mentally. And I want you to be a free golfer. I don't want you to be thinking about those things, because there's just one feel, isn't there? One targeted tweak. Okay, let's switch positions and reverse that role. What I tried to just convey is the principles that apply to why your arc is getting into the ground early and deep, that then cause the ball to fly shorter than we want and more left than we want from time to time. Can you teach it back to me?
So I'm just belt buckle. All I'm hearing is belt buckle.
Yeah.
Coil and recoil.
Love it.
You know?
Yep.
Just belt buckle back, keep it, because like you said, if I shorten my swing, that's why I'm chunking.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And that's why I'll top it or hit it, you know, just a runner or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just coming back and just using my body.
Beautiful. Most people, like you, make one primary error, and then they have secondary errors, because as humans, we have these matchups that we try and apply. Your primary error is fat left, and when you thin it, it's for a completely different reason that will go away, because we're knocking the first domino over, which is your primary error. As soon as you solve that primary error, then golf becomes way easy, and the other things that would be changes that you try to apply to not fat it and to not hit it left don't need to take place, and so they just disappear. That's the beauty of it.
I mean, it's pretty simple.
Okay,
Yeah,
belt buckle, smoke it.
Yeah, that's it.
Love it, man.
That's it. Belt buckle, belt buckle. That's
Smoke
all I got to
it,
remember.
and
smoke it.
Yeah.
There
you go. If you want the fastest way to drop your scores into single digits without improving your short game or swing technique, then keep watching. Hi, Cameron McCormick here, Golf Digest Top 5 instructor and TrackMan advisor. And what you're about to see is arguably the biggest breakthrough in golf instruction since the turn of the century. Because thanks to a new technology-based discovery just released to the public, there's now a radically different way for mid-handicap players to make consistent, solid contact without changing your swing. It's all thanks to 3 new data points that many are calling the next evolution in golf. So click the button on your screen now and be one of the first players to witness this new ball striking discovery. But let me be clear, this presentation is only for self-taught mid-handicap players who enjoy improving on their own, who are looking to take their game into the low 80s and even 70s, without hitting thousands of balls, working with a coach, or changing their technique. So if that's you, then click the button now, and I'll see you in a second.